Hello, everybody. This is Anthony from Healy Teach, and so I did a video earlier today, and so one of the things I wanted to talk about was a couple things I had on my mind because like I said in the video earlier, I was trying to get a bunch of stuff in, and it really kind of doesn't work if I'm trying to do too many things in one video. But I also know that people have a time limit. I don't have a time limit, but a lot of people do. 10 minutes is really about a good amount of time for anybody to listen to or a share about anything. And I know for me, I could go like that in 10 minutes. But some of the focus points I wanted to make sure I got back into on this video was, it is not just a physical fight. When you are in the fight for cancer, for yourself or your family, because you have to think about it. Whoever's in your family is in the fight with you, because they don't want you to get sick. They don't want you to die without trying to do something about it. And there are a lot of things that can be done today that 20 years ago were not being done. And even 10 years ago, they were not being done. And even 6 years ago, were not being done when I was diagnosed. So the strides are very quick and very fast with all cancer. And AI is pushing it all, which is a good thing. But it is a mental fight because let's face it, you feel like the rug is pulled out from under you. And whenever these diagnoses appear, and I know that, in the medical field, I was a nurse. I understand how it all works. It doesn't make it any easier. In fact, in some ways it makes it worse because you know more. And so you also know where to get the information from. So it makes you do a lot more research and can really confuse you a lot. So, but I did what I needed to do, and I think we all go through that whenever you're going through something and you're trying to figure out, should I get this surgery? Should I get radiation? Should I do it that way? Should I go get beads put in me? What should I do? And, those are all very good questions, but that does take the research and looking on the different sites, the American Cancer Society, the American Association of Urology and Physicians. There's a lot of places to look and get information. But in the end, you make your decision based on the knowledge you have. And the more knowledge you have, the more better your information will be as far as your decision. And I believe it's very important for anybody that's going through cancer of any kind to be going to support groups immediately, because I didn't do it until after my surgery, which was a mistake, because for me, I wanted to go, but the meeting wasn't happening right. And then I actually became a moderator for it because I felt like I needed the meeting. I don't know where it was going to be. I didn't care if there was 2 of us online or how it was being done on the phone. At the time it was on the phone. But in the past several years, it's gone to an online meeting, and it's still in process. It's called Zero for men with cancer, and they have support groups for every different kind of cancer you can think of, and support groups for the husbands, the women, the wives of men with cancer. It's just a very good system, the way they're doing it. And it used to be called Us Too before, but it's gone through several advances over the years, and it's gotten to be a much bigger group and much wider reach. So I'm glad that that's happened. Um, and I got a lot out of it, and I learned a lot, and I educated a lot of men about prostate cancer, about what they should do, what they, and learned for myself what I needed to know. And sometimes I still go back to the group and listen because I need to hear certain things. Because, like I said, when you're going through cancer, it's never really over. I don't care what a doctor tells you. They may tell you they got most of your cancer and this and that, but there's always that one little bit. And for me, I had positive margins in a few places where they told me, so that's why I had to they wanted me to do radiation. And I said, no, I wasn't doing it because I thought, well, wait a minute, you're just telling me that you need to do that because of the positive margin and because you're going by, information or statistics or whatever. I don't go by that. I go by, is it in my body now? If it's not, I'm not doing it. So I waited until I got proof that it was going to kick up again. And of course, about a year and a half later, it did. And at that point, I did do the radiation. And there's really no advantage to doing it sooner or later, because in the end, it's all the same thing. And they're going to give you something to kill the hormones that create the prostate antigen, specific antigen. And so it's best to just make your decisions based on how you live. And I wanted at least a year of time where I wasn't being treated for anything, to be able to just enjoy life. And we did that. And, did it stop me from doing anything? Not really. I still had to be cautious and and I still go for blood tests, and I'm going for a bone scan next week. And, it never ends. And I was in one cancer group and where there was a lot of women in the group and that have cancer, and they called it scanxiety. Scanxiety. I never heard of it before, but every time you go for a scan, an x-ray, a blood test, any kind of test that where they're looking for something or trying to find something on you, it puts you in that state of anxiety and fear. And what I have to remember is, it's a day at a time, really. And I can't go through I can't let it just throw me all out of shape. The things that more concern me are the side effects from the contrast that they're going to give me, because that does affect me. Because I had a PSA not too long ago, a PSMA, sorry, which is the MRI that they do, and they give you a radio tracer, and so they do look at all that, but again, it didn't make me feel good, and I've got to go for another one next week because I've had bone pain, but that was related to a medication for the osteoporosis, which I had before I even had the cancer. So the cancer and taking hormones to stop the bone from growing and stop the PSA from growing, it does a lot of different things. It messes you up. And for me, it dug into my depression. But there is an up note about it. And the up note is that I was able to move through it. I had to retire from my nursing work. It was unbearable working in the situation where I was. And, it changes your life. It absolutely changes your life. And you will find out it's messy, it's unpredictable, it can be overwhelming. But you know what? In spite of it all, I was able to learn how to live with it, how to get through it a day at a time. Is it always the same? Absolutely not. It's different every day. And every time I go through some health scare, like the past 4 weeks have been pain in my left hip, which I never had before, and